Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel and welcome to this new series. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna call it. It's probably gonna be something like Read It or Ditch It or like TBR Takedown. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that last year in August I started a series called TBR Tackle where I was focusing on my backlist books, but I only did one episode and then like never continued. But this time around though, I have decided to focus on my entire TBR and not just my physical TBR, but my Goodreads TBR and just get it down to around 50 books because I feel like getting down to 0 is unrealistic, but 50 sounds like a manageable amount because there's a lot of new releases coming in, and then like 50 books is like a manageable amount that is not stressing me out. Right now I have, well, we'll see how many books I have right now, but I recently did a Goodreads declutter. I had around 190 books and then I ditched like 30 books, and I think I finished at 157 or 156 in that episode. And that is what inspired me to do this series. Right now I have 172 books on my Goodreads TBR because I went through my iPad books and I realized that I have a lot of books on there that I want to read, but I don't have them on my Goodreads TBR, and so I went in and added, and I have even more books on my iPad that I want to read, maybe potentially, that I did not add because they work for like around the world challenge, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna read exactly them. So 172, so we will try to get it down to 50, and in this episode I'm gonna try to read shorter books. I might do like themed episodes where maybe like Color Wheel chooses my TBR or I read the oldest books on my TBR, but for now I'm gonna do like shorter books because in 1 month I'm going backpacking in East Asia, and so I don't know how I will be able to film, like if I will be able to read and vlog there. Starting tomorrow I work 2 shifts for like 3.5 weeks while my colleague is on vacation, and then in 4 weeks, in 3.5 weeks she comes back and we work together for like 2 days, and then I go on vacation. And so working like 60 hours a week, that is a lot, and I don't think I will be able to read a lot, so I want to do like shorter books. And then after that I go on vacation for 2 months, but I will be backpacking for 7 weeks, so I don't think there is going to be a lot of reading there, but I'll try my best. So yeah, fingers crossed I don't ditch this challenge and we get to 50 books. I am planning to do it in the next like couple of years. I like, it's unrealistic to do it this year, but next couple of years would be good. I've chosen The Republic of Birds by Jessica Miller. So this is a middle grade, and this is about this girl Olga and her sister, and basically her sister, they live in a fantasy world inspired by Russian folklore, and their kingdom was at war with birds a long time ago, and now something happens and Olga's sister is kidnapped by the army of birds, and Olga is the one that sets on the journey to find her sister, and she finds out a lot about the war, like the truth about the war. And I've heard amazing things about this, and this is pretty short, so I'm gonna read this. And also I've decided that I want to do, like, I want to read around 20% of the book and then decide if I am actually going to continue, and if not, I'm just going to DNF it. So it's not just about this book, it's like, it's the rule of this challenge basically, that I'm going to get to around like 50 pages or like 20% of the book and then just decide if I want to keep reading or ditch it. So yeah. I hope you enjoy this series, and let's get some reading in. Hi guys, so it's time to give you an update on the Republic of Birds, and honestly, I am disappointed. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, it is an interesting writing style, and the world is very interesting, and I'm really interested in how this book is gonna end, but honestly, I was expecting something more, I guess, and yeah, I remember a few years back when I added this to my TBR, people were raving about it, that it's like this cozy middle grade fantasy set in like a polar world, and I should love books like that, but for some reason it's just like it's not my favorite, and although I am gonna finish it, I'm 40% through. Oopsie daisy, why is it falling? Anyway, I am 40% through, and I am gonna finish because I do want to know how they find Olga's sister and all, but yeah, it's just like, it's average, it's not nothing like spectacular, at least I don't know, maybe it's a season for me where I don't like books I read, but it's just average. And honestly, what bugs me the most is that I am 40% through, and only now has Olga's sister disappeared. So in the synopsis it says birds, like the bird army kidnaps Olga's younger sister Mira, and I honestly thought it's gonna happen in the first couple chapters, but no, it's like chapter 10, and it only happened at the end of chapter 9 when they like kidnapped her, and like the whole 9 chapters, it was basically just how they traveled to this border region where they are now living, and they're like basically just some life there, and just like nothing that interesting, but yeah. I hope it picks up from here, and I will update you once I am a bit more through. Alright, so I finished the Republic of Birds, and it is time to give you an update. Also, sorry if you can hear any background noises. I live on the sunny side and it's really hot and I don't have AC, so just bear with me. So I have a lot to say about the Republic of Birds. So at the beginning I was liking it, and I was like, I had very mixed feelings about it, but I decided to continue on and finish the book, and oh boy, I wish I had DNF'd it, because even though I still read it pretty quickly, it was a really short book. I don't think I will recommend this book to anyone, honestly, because I feel like it was very poorly executed. Like, the premise is very cool, and it could even be a series, like a fantasy series, like with this really cool polar Russian mythology setting, but I felt like the author was trying to do way too much in such a short book. Like, there were a lot of different things that happened, a lot of events that happened that should have been longer. So for example, when Olga's sister disappeared and Olga set on a journey to find her, she ended up in a boarding school for Yagas, but she was there for like 1 or 2 short chapters, and like basically that could have been excluded. So it would be really cool if she was actually a student at that school, and she and after that, when she was ready, she set off on a journey to find her sister. Like, there were a lot of different possibilities how this book could have been improved. But yeah, as I said, like, this book was trying to do way too much. From the very beginning, when Olga suddenly discovered that she's a Yaga, like, she basically just touched a map and she started feeling something and she knew that she's a Yaga. And that left me with a lot of questions, and overall this book left me with a lot of unanswered questions. And as I said, it could have been a series, or like at least a 400 or 500 page book where the author would explore the world a little bit more and the events, and maybe make the character a little bit more likable, because honestly the only person that I cared about in this book was Olga's little sister Mira, but Olga, she was, I don't know, I could not relate to her, and the problem is not that I am not the intended audience for this book, because I like reading middle grade and I can relate to a lot of characters in middle grade, but with this one it was just like really hard to click. And also the Russian mythology, like, it was a really cool aspect, and I liked that it was set in this like polar world, but honestly the whole world felt undeveloped, and so yeah, a lot of questions unanswered. And if we get too picky, as a Russian speaker, it was really, really funny to me, the choice of some words and names that the author chose. I don't know if author speaks Russian or she just based everything on a research or something, but some of them were really, really funny. For example, the queen of the birds, like this evil bird, was named after this really, really small birdie that wakes up in the morning. So basically, the queen, she was trying to picture the queen as this evil creature that was in a war with the kingdom of where Olga lives, and the name of the king queen, I don't know, is Ptashka, but in Russian, Ptashka is like this tiny, tiny birdie that wakes up earliest. We say Ranya Ptashka, so basically like morning birdie. And it just doesn't go together. I could not picture. I was picturing this little small birdie that was trying to be angry, and like it was just like funny. And then also when Olga actually got into the Republic of Birds and she found Mira and the Queen of the Birds, the Ptashka, she said, "Oh, if you find the Firebird's egg for me, I will free Mira." And then Olga sets on a journey to find the Firebird egg that everyone is looking for in her kingdom, and in the Republic of Birds they are trying to find this Firebird's egg, because Firebird is basically this very powerful creature, and everyone is trying. And then she discovers that some of the witches hid the Firebird's egg somewhere, and she's like in that place, but she can't find it. And then suddenly she returns to the Republic of Birds, and she's trying to lie to this queen, and then she suddenly pulls out the egg out of the map, and it was just like all over the place. And honestly, I gave it 2 stars. I just could not. It was okay. I didn't hate it. It was okay, but just I wish I honestly had higher expectations, because some people were telling me that it was like such a fantastic, phenomenal middle grade fantasy, but no, for me it was not. So yeah, unfortunately, well, I already have read this book, so I can't ditch it, and I don't own it, so I can't unhold it. So yeah, this book is read, so one less book on my TBR. Alright, it's time to pick up my next read, and it's gonna be Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I have read one other book by Abby Jimenez. It was just for the summer, and I read it last year, and it was lovely. I gave it like 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, like really close to a 5-star read. It was one of my favorite books of last year. So when I saw that this is available as audiobook, I immediately wanted to listen to it, and this has a really interesting premise. So basically, we have this girl, Sam, who rescues a kitten, and she goes to a veterinarian, and he just tells her to kill the kitten, because it's just like, it's a funny story. I don't want to spoil anything because it's just funny, but the kitten has a health condition that she wouldn't live, like she would suffer and die eventually, and so the vet tells Sam to just kill the cat. But she says no, and it's just funny how she fundraises a lot of money to save the kitten, and then they basically start talking again, and he asks her on a date, but it is one day before she has to leave for California to live with her mom, because her mom has dementia, and so she is moving in with her family to be with her mom. And they immediately click. They are so wholesome together. They spend the whole night together, and it is just really, really cool. And then she moves, and he stays in Minnesota because he has this veterinarian clinic that he opened that he can't sell, because then he would lose everything. But they basically start a long-distance relationship, and I absolutely love it. I don't think I have read a lot of books about long-distance relationship, but I'm actually 7 hours in already. I am just flying through this book, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's just so wholesome, and on one hand, it's getting a bit repetitive and annoying how they're like constantly trying to find reasons and ways to get to each other, which is like obvious. I understand it's obvious when you're in a long distance relationship, especially when they both have very, very valid reasons why they cannot move for each other. And yeah, so that is getting a bit repetitive. But at the same time, when they do get to be together, it is just very wholesome and adventurous and funny, and I am just really, really enjoying it. So I feel like this is gonna be like 4.5 out of 5 again. I'm just loving it. Hi guys, so I finished Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and I absolutely freaking loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I am just like blown away by Abby Jimenez's writing style. I just flew through the book and just literally so many things happened, and I absolutely loved the ending, how they found their way to each other. It was just so sweet. It wasn't like cheesy, it was just like sweet enough but not too sweet, if you know what I mean. And yeah, literally so many things happened in this book. Literally every other like page was just like filled with so many different situations and so many different problems and like obstacles, and they got through them. And yeah, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And now I have to get to my next book. Okay, it is time to pick up my next book, and this time I decided it's going to be a physical book because my first book for this video was an ebook, then I listened to an audiobook, and now I decided to pick a physical book from my TBR card because pretty much the entire summer I will be reading ebooks when I'm going to be traveling. I'm not gonna take any physical books from home. Maybe I will pick some books up in the hostels or somewhere, but for the most part I will be reading ebooks, so why not pick a book from my TBR card and just add a few books to my shelves before I leave. I don't know how many books I will be able to read until I leave. Actually, for this video I might read maybe 1 or 2 more books. It depends because honestly, I also have to film and edit a few other videos besides this, so we will see. And I still have like 2 weeks full of work. But anyway, so I decided to pick up Heartbound by Colleen Hoover, and I believe Colleen Hoover is my most read author. I think I've read 16 or 17 of her books, and I've enjoyed most of them. And I know a lot of people don't like Colleen Hoover because her books are kind of problematic, and like a lot of there are a lot of triggers in her books, and um, yeah, maybe like toxic stuff as well. But I enjoy her books, and I am actually already reading this book. I am on page 219, and I am flying through this book. So this is about Bea Grimm, and all her life she has struggled to stay alive because her mom is a drug addict. And this one day she comes home from work and she finds her mom dead on the couch. And basically she like the landlord, they're renting a trailer, I think, and the landlord tells her, no, you have to leave because your mom didn't pay for the rent and stuff, and so you have to leave. And the only option for Bea is to call her dad and tell him that she is coming to see him and stay with him for the summer because she literally has no one else. And she doesn't have the best relationship with her dad. She hasn't spoken to him in a few years, and yeah, she ends up going to his house, and he has a new wife and a stepdaughter, Sarah. Alright, so I finished Hardbones by Colleen Hoover, and she did it again. She freaking did it again. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I can't say that it was outstanding or there was something phenomenal that I have never read before, but it was it deals with a very hard topic, and both of the characters have very difficult backstories. But then again, it's written in such an easy language that you just fly through it, and I really loved that both of the characters were there for each other and they cared so much for each other and what's best for the other person and not what's best for me, and they were absolutely like not selfish at all. And you know, like when you love someone you just want to be with them, but sometimes it's not the best option. And yeah, this was just so good. And even if you don't like Colleen Hoover, I would say give this one a try because I think this one is one of my favorites by Colleen Hoover. And I've read most of her books. I think I haven't read just a few, and this was just like so good. So this is definitely staying in my home on my shelves, and we just need to find a place for it on my bookshelf. So yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so this one, and that one are my contemporary romance, literary fiction shelves, and that one also has a little bit of classics that I need to move over there. And technically, this was like young adult, new adult, so this would go on this one or that one. Because that one mostly has like literary fiction and adult romance and adult fiction, mostly, not all of it. But here, I don't really think that this works here because here I have like lighter books. So we will step up and see if maybe it works. I don't know. I really like how these work together. So maybe this can go somewhere here. So we'll just, maybe it can go down there. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. Also, yes, it's incredibly dusty. I need to dust them. So, yeah, I think, okay, whatever. I think this looks good. So now it's time to choose my next read. Hi guys, so I just wanted to finish this vlog here. I know in the last clip I said let's choose my next read, but it's now been 10 days since that moment and I haven't started the book. The book that I wanted to read was Agatha Christie's Death on Nile, and I have a physical copy of that, but the reason that I decided not to read it is because I'm leaving for China in 3 days, and the next 3 days are going to be extremely busy. My to-do list is 5 miles long, and I'm going to a wedding tomorrow, so tomorrow I won't be able to do anything from that list, and so it leaves 2 days to finish, and I don't feel like I will be able to read the book in 2 days, and I don't want to take any physical books with me. So I've decided that this episode is just going to be 3 books long, and hopefully the next one is going to be a bit longer. I am planning to film, read it or unhaul it while I'm away in Asia, because I'm going to be reading ebooks, and I have a lot of ebooks from my TBR. And before we finish this vlog, I actually wanted to show you a book that I just bought today, and that is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, the book that I read during this vlog, and I actually so loved it that when I saw it in the bookstore I was like, yes, I need to get my hands on it, I need to get this book, and I will probably reread it next year. So sometimes I buy books after reading them as ebooks or audiobooks. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment and like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye!